And now, the rest of the story.
In August 2025, my brother Ed and I took our father Charles to a cabin on Claytor Lake in Dublin, Virginia for the week. While there, we talked at length about his life. This is the 16th installment of Charles Leslie Dishman, A Life Remembered.
Well, where we are right now, we're in Claytor Lake, Virginia, in a cabin. We're sitting on the, what would you call, well, you call it porch, wouldn't you? Sitting on a porch. It's got beautiful windows and doors. We went to Roanoke, Virginia, we went to Stanton, Virginia, and we went to Bucky's. We went a train ride. Had our dinner on the train. I'll miss this, no doubt about it. I'm gonna put this down in my book, all this stuff. And I'm gonna get the map and chase the place we've been on the map.
Did you enjoy yourself this week?
Yeah, I enjoy it. Sure I have. And
Looking forward to going back home to your dogs?
yeah. I'll miss this though. I'll miss this, no doubt about it. What is it?
Is it in your mouth?
Oh well, shoot.
Move your hand.
I'm gonna roll my blunt here later on. He's gonna roll and smoke my blunt.
I'm gonna put this down in my book, all this stuff. And I'm gonna get the map and chase the place we've been on the map.
Ryan, how old are you today? Or yesterday?
39 years old. 86.
You're 86. And today you found out about an aunt that you
The only thing about it, I found about an aunt I didn't know I had.
What was her name?
Holly. I sure didn't know it. If Mom mentioned it to me, I don't remember. I sure don't remember.
Why do you suppose that would have... Let's assume that she didn't tell you. Why do you suppose that would have been?
Huh? I guess because she passed away, I guess.
You don't think she would have forgotten about her, though?
What year she said she died?
1926.
1926. Well, see, Mom was 26 years old when she died.
You don't think she remembered because she was ill, did she?
Huh?
Because she was ill?
It could have been. I don't ever, honest to God, I don't remember Mommy mentioning it. She might have done it, but that's one thing I can't remember. I didn't know I had but 3 aunts. Aunt Sarah, and Aunt Murray, and Aunt Della. And Mom, that'd been 4. And I don't, if she told me that, I honest to God, don't remember.
Well, that's
news.
That's not a mistake. It's not a mistake because you saw the census report. It says she was there.
Right?
Multiple census reports.
But she probably told me, but I can't remember it.
Yeah.
You can't remember everything, going up in line.
So do we have any brothers or sisters that we don't know about?
The Lord knows you don't.
Are you sure?
I know it.
Well,
How about a stepsister? We got a stepsister?
no, I haven't asked you anything about this, and just forgive me if it's.
I've dated some pretty women after when your mommy bled up. I never would have done it if she hadn't left.
Okay.
Never would have done it, but
Okay. But let me just ask you this. Forgive me if it's too painful and if you don't want to talk about it. But do you want to say anything about Christy?
huh?
You want to say anything about Christy?
Well, we've married 36 years, and we've done a lot of traveling together. A lot of traveling.
Mm-hmm.
We've been to 2 cruises. Been to Disney World.
Where'd you go on cruises?
Well, we went to Bahamas one time, and the last one went to Cancun, Mexico. I went to California. We went to that Cape Cod last year. We was going to go to New York City if she hadn't got sick.
You were going to Cape Cod last year.
Yeah, we did too.
You were telling me you guys you would go dancing on Saturday night?
Yeah, we'd go dancing on we went to a lot of auctions. I enjoyed them really good. I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
And we go out to dinner.
And what happened?
Yeah, we went to Cape Cod last year in September.
Yeah, I thought to Cape Canaveral.
No, Cape Cod.
What happened to her?
Huh?
What happened to her?
She died of cancer. Boy, she done a lot of suffering now. I'll tell you what, I was holding her hand and she passed away. Her hand was as cold as ice.
And what about your carving with Harold Conyers?
Still going? Well, me and Harold Conyers is one of my good friends. We carve 2 days a week, about probably 10 years, and we go on trips. I know what they are now. Other day I was trying to think of what steam engine shows. Had them old steam engines and bunch of them. Then we go out to dinner, and
You enjoyed that?
oh Lord, yeah, enjoyed it good, That was really enjoyable.
What happened to Harold?
Well, he just I don't know what happened. He just got sick, and I went there to see him several times, and he didn't even know me. Laying in the bed there, didn't even know me. He's a good friend, I tell you what. His son said things to him I never would have said to my father. It embarrassed me. And Harold wouldn't say nothing after. I never see him say anything to his mother, but he always put Harold down. What would do that? And as good as he was to him.
What do you like to do now? How do you spend your
But not much. I just like to stay home. You go to
church, right?
It's not like
You go to church, right?
Yeah, I go to church, but not much like I used to.
You're gonna
They tried to get me to go to that choir. I don't know if I will or not.
make some guitars?
Yeah, I'm going to get when I go over there. When I go over to 10th, I'm going to get the dimensions on my guitar and cut them,
The mosquitoes is getting on him.
So, Dad, what was discipline like in your home, and who mostly laid down the rules?
My mother done all the discipline. I only remember my dad whipping me 3 times, and Mom done all that.
My mother would if you made her mad, the first thing she'd get a hold of was coming at you. 'Cause I got a scar right there from a pledge can.
Well, Mom didn't do that, but she'd always use a switch.
I can remember, boy, go out there and get a switch. You don't want me to go out there and get it.
And Dad would use a belt.
Dad never really disciplined us because he always worked the second or third shift, and he wasn't really there during the daytime. Then when he was home, we was at school. So Mom, and I can remember you got your driver's license before Mom got hers. Can you remember that?
Remember how I used to drive? She would drive all the way around.
Yeah.
Down to avoid that hill by the jailhouse.
Yeah. She parked the car one time and walked home, and I went down there and didn't have no driver's license, and I drove her back home.
Well, she couldn't drive the Zimmerman.
She didn't know how to drive a standard.
Oh.
You bought her a standard car.
Oh, well.
She said, I'm going to tear the transmission out of it, or I'm going to drive it. She said, the hell was Charles Dishman? I'm going to prove that I can drive it. Because you bought her a standard car.
I wonder what I done that for.
You bought her a standard car and she didn't know how to drive it.
Well,
When
we're talking out of turn now, aren't we?
you
Why didn't she say something about getting stand up?
know,
Automatic, I would've.
you traded that Vega in, that little orange Vega in, for that little blue car, and it was a Cavalier, and it was a standard.
Well,
She didn't know how to drive it.
I would've got an automatic.
She would drive halfway around the county, so she wouldn't have to go up a hill.
I would've got an automatic if she'd demanded. Well, Dad played cards a lot. He liked to play cards, and I can't remember when Mom first started going to church. I can't remember before Dad died or after Dad died, because I can't remember going to church before that. She'd just stay home and take care of his kids. But when Dad died, we lived right beside the Dorton Branch Church, right beside of it. We could leave our house and be in the church in 10 minutes, but it's no longer. It's been gone for years. You remember when we done when you got them rocks and that little bridge? You look that way, and that's where the house was sitting, right over there, and that wasn't nothing there now, just empty, grown up. And I used to wade that branch down there and just looking for minerals, and all went through there. Yeah, I believe I can, yeah. Leland was dating Dorcas Sturmont. And I went up there one day and I started dating his sister. And Dorcas had two sisters. There was about a year of difference in them. And the next time I went up there, I got the other, and these looked so much alike, I thought it was the same girl. And we dated each other for about 3 years, and something we just broke up. She's a pretty girl, but she couldn't have no children. And she died, had cancer, but probably in her 20s. And her sister died about 2 years after that. Marie and Diane.
So that was our grandmother's half-sister.
Yeah, half-sister, yeah.
That were our mother's aunt.
Your grandmother, Miss Goldman, she had 4 sisters, and they was whole sisters. And Mr. He died, and she married again, and she had about 4 or 5 more. What?
Is it out?
No, Well, I had one that was growing up. He's solid black.
Okay, what was good about him?
Well, he's just a good dog. He's a hunter. He'd go hunting with me, and we'd get out in the mountains, and he'd chase them groundhogs and go around and get them. He'd chase them underneath the logs and rocks, and they'd bite him on the nose. They'd make it much worse. He'd want to get that, but sometimes he'd pull them out.
What about other dogs?
Well, I had one. Well, I had old Sheriff, he got killed down on the road. And Midget.
Buckwheat.
midget and Flossie. You remember Flossie?
Fozzie.
Fozzie. I was going to work one morning at Link Belt and I took up truck. And I remember I just had the carport then. I had the carport, and I remember that at night before that, I got Fozzie and put him up in some way, and I forgot to put him up in the truck, in the back of the truck. And the next morning I got up, he stayed in that back of that truck all night, you know. Next morning I got it, went to work, and got on New Circle Road. That's before they made that Man of War, you know. Look back there, and there he was. He's down there, he's pausing mirrors, thinking about it. And I think I called one of you on, you come and got him.
It had to be less because I probably didn't know driver's license.
You remember that? And poor little dog got killed. I seen him get hit right there, right in the middle of the road. And I didn't find him until spring, cause over there with that people with them people lives on the corner there. That was just a big empty lot. There's a lot of brush, a lot of rough terrain. And he crawled over and died, and I didn't find him the next spring. And I had one named Trouble. Leland gave him to me, and them people, I had so much trouble with them people, they'd call on me. I had to give him away, and he looked so sad going. Then I had another one, they called on me about him. Then that's when we got that fence. It is a little girl dog, got spotted leg, pretty little dog.
What about some of your Boston Terriers real quick?
Yeah, well, that was Buckwheat, first one. You know, he was about 12 years old when he died. And Spanky, he was just only about 8 when he died.
And what about the two that you have now?
And I got Pee-wee and Lily. Lily, she just pupped when I got her.
You have a cat too, right?
Yeah, a cat named Fox. Well, that was Chris's cat, but I just kept her, you know. Pee-wee, I think he thinks I'm his dad. He wants to be everywhere I go, about right with me.
What was the first movie you saw in a theater?
My first movie in theater, I can't remember, but we used to go to there's 2 theaters in Pineville. And one time there's 3, but I always went 9 times out of 10. I'd go to Roden. It was cheaper. And the other theater was Bale. He's still there. The more higher class people went there from downtown. I've been there a few times, but they'd show them more modern movies. They'd always have 2 movies and a serial, every Saturday serial, and cartoons. And then more cowboys like Roy Rogers, Gene Autry. And in that same show, they had live shows. Cowboys come out. Like you ever hear of Lasharoo? He came out one time, and I seen him one day on theater, and this woman was with him, and he'd take that whip, and I seen him do it. Take that whip and knock that cigarette out of that woman's mouth. Now nobody told me that. I seen it in a little town like Pineville, and it's no longer there.
And then people would go from town to town.
I know they did.
Because they wasn't in the movies no more.
Well, yeah.
So that's how they made the money.
Yeah, and another one came up too. He was a big actor. Rod, somebody. His first name was Rod.
Who was your favorite baseball player, basketball player, football player, singer, or actor when you were young, Dad?
Well, when I was young, I loved listening to UK basketball game. Ever since I just a little bitty boy. I guess Dan Issel was my best basketball player for UK. And next would be Tom Parker. He owned that park up for a while. Tom Parker did. And what else now?
Actors or singers?
Well, actors on westerns would be old Tim Holt. He played in them westerns, RKO movies. RKO, that's all he played in. Then I liked old Robbie Lelick. He was good. He's always said, I'm a peaceful man. He's wore his guns, you know. He didn't wear them that way. He wore them the part sticking out that way. And the big tall guy. And I see what else.
You like those radio dramas, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I like them old radio drama. Yeah, I love them. I still love them. Well, I listen to them, all of them. Old Inner Sanctum.
Who was your favorite one, Dad?
the Squeaking Door, huh?
Who was your favorite one?
Well, that was the 6-shooter. He was James Stewart. Every town he'd ride into, somebody knew him. Every town. And he'd talk, you know, while he's going, you know. And he made about 3 or 4, about 5, 6 on TV, but that's all. Just about, that's about 5, 6 all he made. And the detectives, it'd probably be, I like that old Lord Nolan. He was good on them detectives, you know. I liked that the Whistler. He said, I travel by night. He'd always walk by night and he'd talk, you know, and
Do you like any cartoons, Dad?
on Froghorn. Here's my favorite, Froghorn. You know what I'm talking about? That big rooster.
What would he say?
Hey, boy.
I ain't no chicken.
He's always chasing that dog, and that little what? What was that? The little bitty animal. It wasn't no muskrat. It was a chicken hawk. Hey, boy.
It was like 10 times bigger than the chicken that was trying to kill him and eat him.
And if I say, son, I ain't no chicken.
I still watch it. You know what? It's only at YouTube, yeah. You can go in there right now and turn and see it. You get that dog and spank it. Oh boy. They don't make nothing like it anymore, do they? Boo! Well, I'm gonna start going up. Time I get up for you, I'll be ready. I can go up there and it can come down. Oh, Rob.
Take it easy, Dad. Take it easy. Yeah, help him up these last set of stairs.
I'm okay. I need some help when I get right there. Well, why didn't you know?
Well, what can you tell me about the first time you left Bell County?
Well, the first time I left Bell County, it seemed like there's, let's see. Well, let me think. I can't remember. First time I left Bell County, I can't remember when I went to Cincinnati or I started working for a tree company.
It was probably Cincinnati, wasn't it?
Well, I can't remember. I know I think a tree company first.
Okay, well,
I'm not for sure.
What can you tell me about that?
What?
about leaving and going to work for the tree company?
Well, I remember one night that we was going back. I went up at Newtown. That's not Newtown, but East Pinedale. That's up on 119, about 4 or 5 miles northeast of Pineville on 119. Gaston Rose, he was the foreman, and we was going up there to see what time he was going to leave the next morning back up that way. He was going to leave Monday morning and work the same day. That's what we done. We didn't leave on Sunday nights. We'd leave on the Monday morning. And we got up there, and I had that 50 Ford convertible, I believe. And we stayed up there probably about a half an hour at his house. And boy, on our way back, it started snowing. I tell you what, it was snowing so hard, I had to pull off several times. The windshield wipers wouldn't wipe the snow off fast enough. And next morning, I don't say how we made it back up here. It was 5, 6, 7 inches of snow on the ground. And I remember it was, I didn't have no work boots. I had no pair of cowboy boots, and they had them big, up here, the big wide tops. And that snow, I was groundman. I chipped the brush up. That's all I done. And that snow got in my feet, and it like to froze my feet off. I tell you what, I don't see how I stood it.
How old were you then?
I was 18 years old. And boy, I tell you what, when I got my first check, I made sure I got me a good pair of boots. Insulated rubber boots. They're not done it. And but my feet like froze off. And when we get to go to the apartment, where we stayed at, my feet would be so shriveled up, just like ice. It's what they had frostbit. And it was a rough job, I tell you. If it paid more, it'd been okay. But it didn't pay nothing. $1 an hour.
Okay, Dad, did you ever get in trouble as a kid, and did you ever manage to hide it from your parents? Meaning you did something as a child that you knew your parents didn't or wouldn't approve of, and you got away with it?
Well, I don't know.
Confession time.
I probably have, but I can't remember.
Can you remember about a time? Anything you remember something like that?
I see.
Hard to say when your father's sitting there.
I'll tell you something. I'll tell you something I haven't told you. There was a store out there below us, and it was something like a general store. It wasn't no company store. What was that?
You just shaved your ears there,
Something
bud.
like a general store, and they had everything. And they'd have all kinds of toys for children, and especially things that I liked. I never did get it. They'd have them little trains full of candy. I always wanted one of them, but I never did get one for some reason. And every time I go in a store, I'd always look at that train. I remember that. 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. And they sold furniture. They sold clothes, sold food.
Do you remember any jokes that your mom or dad might have told you when you were a kid?
I remember a lot of, not jokes. Mom used to tell me more haunted stories. I've told you about them.
Okay, tell me about them again.
Well, I wouldn't go to sleep unless she'd tell me about no haunted story. And she'd tell me one. She probably told me a lot more, but I remember this more than others. She called it old bloody bones. She sit there upside of me and tell me that story, and then I'd fall asleep.
Was she a good storyteller?
Oh yeah. I had a good mother, Liz. I had a good mother. I had a great mother. That's the reason I'd want to go. I always wondered what she looked like when she was real young, you know.
What kind of church did you grow up in, Dan?
Snake handlers.
Well, no, I wasn't. No, I didn't grow up in no snake handler church. Go ahead. You want to talk, Eddie?
No.
I grew up in it was similar to a Baptist church, but it was a Church of God. And that's where Mom went to church at. We called it Dork Branch Board Roof. Then it was Board Roof then.
And we went into the same church
Yeah, Eddie went with me.
about 3 months ago.
Yeah, but it's a lot bigger. It's bigger now. They got inside toilets now. Then they didn't have it. And they had, in that church list, they had a bell. And they'd ring the bell at 6:30. And us boys would love to ring that bell. We'd take time about ringing that bell. And we'd ring it again at 7. And you'd hear that bell for a mile or two. And that's all church around had, that bell.
What was a typical Sunday service like?
At that time, they didn't have no church on Sundays. It was always on Saturday night. And the people had,
What was a typical Saturday night service like?
well, they'd sing 5 or 6 songs. Maybe somebody would sing a special. And they had guitars and that's it, guitars, that's it. Maybe they might have had the recordings. I can't remember. Accordion, you know.
Somebody would preach?
Oh yeah, then the preacher would preach. He'd preach about an hour. The preacher then was named Baker. And later on, another guy took over, a young guy. His name was Rose, and he was foreman of that tree company. And he just got busy at that tree company and bought he bought into that tree company, and he had several trucks himself.
What about Pastor Carter? Where was Pastor Carter?
Well, now, Pastor Carter now, another different church. Now, it was Snake Island Church. It was down Newtown. But I never did see that man's handle snake. Never did see him. And his wife, she played the guitar, but I never did see Brother Carter handle snake. Never did see him.
So what was a typical service like in that church?
Well, they'd handle snakes. They'd sing about 2 hours singing and handling snakes.
Speaking in tongues?
Yeah, they put the snakes down their back and they'd crawl out their brittle legs. Women would too.
You saw this firsthand?
Huh?
You saw this firsthand?
Oh yeah. We could go down there just to see that. I didn't go for the church. I just go for the watch them handle them snakes.
And how old were you when that was going on?
10 to 12 years old, 13, 14.
Did your mother know you were going to a church to handle snakes?
I'd say she did, you know.
And what,
I don't wish she did not, to tell you the truth.
did she ever go to that church?
No, she never did.
And what was the general thought or belief about?
Well, there's
people
a
who did
scripture
that?
in the Bible. It's in the.
No, and people who were not adherents to that, people on the outside, but still living there, what do they think about it?
I guess they thought it was amusing, you know. But they was several churches around there handling them, several of them, and some of them got bit, and some of them they killed them, some of them it crippled their hands, you know. They had teeth, and they had poison in them too. They wasn't no fake or nothing about them. I guess that music just charmed them, I guess.
What do you remember church like at that 2nd Street Pentecostal church?
Hot. Didn't have no air conditioning. It's hot.
Well, nobody had air conditioning. They, they had the fans. I mean, the fans used to go like that. Well,
What I can remember of it, I was made to go.
well, you was used to it. You didn't know no difference, We wasn't used to
We was made to go, so I didn't like it.
we would.
So I was made to go.
I wasn't made to go. I went on kind of. I wanted to go. Okay.
You made us go.
Well,
Did you play guitar in the church?
yeah.
In Paris?
Yeah, I remember one time I was on second shift then, and at the Pentecost church in Paris, and I was we lived up on High Street, and I don't know how your mom got to church. I don't know how she got there, 'cause she wasn't driving then. I guess somebody come picked her up, I guess, and picked Eddie and Les up, you and Eddie up, and they was taking an offering one night, and your mama gave 2 or 3 pennies in, and the preacher, he shouldn't have done that. That was wrong for what he done. Wrong. He seen her put them pennies in. You know what he done? After they took the offering up, he said, "Well, Sister Faye didn't have that but pennies, so we're going to give her a little bit more money to make up for that." And it made your mom so mad. She got you and Eddie up and walked all the way home. And he come and tried to get her to get in the car. She wouldn't do it. She never did go back no more. Never did. Never did.
Good for her.
He shouldn't have done that. Who would do stuff like that?
Well, him, apparently.
Huh?
The only thing he was worried about, Dad, was the money.
Well, he come to my house one time, and I hate to say that, but he come to my house wanting my tires. I went there for a while later, but later on I quit going too.
Serving the public as Grand Venue's first envisioned to be by its reliance cultural center. Our trip begins in Stanton, located in Augusta County. Stanton was first set day 17.
I'm a dapper dad, man. I like that, when you get on stage there and all that.
Yeah.
And
Singing into the can?
Yeah, and this guy starts singing, he gets surprised, then he starts singing.
Yeah.
George Floyd.
Yeah.
Touch it in your hand.
Reach out and touch it.
Oh, good, though. Bring it on.
What's so good? What gets the thumbs up? Good coffee?
About this week, I didn't have no idea we was going that train ride. When we went up on them tracks, I still didn't have it didn't hit me. I thought we was going to go some kind of show in that building.
That's good. The surprise worked.
Yeah, and I put it this way, I've got 2 of the greatest sons that God ever gave a man.
Good, man.
That's some sons treats their father and mother like dirt. But I got 2 sons that I'm totally proud of.
You should tell your other one that.
Well, he knows it. Well, he's in there, but he's there, I would. I got 2 sons that I'm totally not one bit disappointed. But I wish one day you'd come back here, but that's up to you. That's up to you and Sonny. You got a life for you to live yourself. I'm not gonna be that long. Hope you got another 30 years. You hope you have.
Well, we can wrap this up. You have any last words you want to say before we shut everything down? Don't take any wooden nickels.
And we'll take in wooden nickels.
Which one's your favorite son?
All of them.
All of it.
All 5 or 6 of them? You want to make like a tree and leave?
Yeah. I'm gonna set you a few minutes.
Okay.
And well, I'll put it this way. I've enjoyed myself this week. It's been better. My foot has been better.
Oh, that's good, Dad.
Huh?
That's good.
It's been better with my foot. And I got a phone for Wednesday, the doctor,
Yeah.
and she's supposed to fill me on the stuff that, you know. Then I got a doctor on 10th, and I got to go 2 more doctors this year. Boy, they ain't make no money on me, are they? Insurance. You see how that's rotten right there?
You want to say goodbye to Claytor Lake?
Bye, Claytor Lake. Bye, Claytor Lake.
Over here.
Bye, Claytor Lake. Bye,
Okay.
cabin. Been a good week. Well, put the front one on the porch, going in the house. Sure, let's go get one. Well, that's a big, heavy door. One day I was a sinner without my Savior, but when Pee-wee liked he'd wiggle his tail. One day he placed a love in my heart that no one else could give. Oh, I really love him so, and I want you to know that he will care for you. Why don't you set him, Pee-wee, and that little tail start wiggling that much faster. He's working in your heart today. Hey, Pee-wee. Right there, Pee-wee. Without Mr. Pee-wee, boy, I'm going to tell you, you know. Well, look at that, Pee-wee. Well, look at that, Lily. She's not good to wiggle her tail, never does. What is that, Pee-wee? What is that? Pee-wee, your butt's showing. I used to run around with a bunch of boys, and they was mean boys. You know, and Mom finally, after Dad died, she told me she didn't want me to fool him no more, and I did. And every one of them boys wound up in the reform school. Every one of them, 2 or 3 of them got killed. Anyway, we was down a creek bank one day. They was as you come across that bridge, you come down that way and you go across the bridge and you turn left, the gravel, then you go up that way and go up Dornbridge. And this middle lane goes all the way down that way, but it's just dirt. You can drive a car down there so far. But we done it one day, a bunch of boys fooling around, 5 or 6 of us, and there's no drunk man laying there. And one of them started fooling. We was see what he could find on him, and he got a bill for him, got some money out, and he gave each one of us $1 and kept most of his sale. And first thing I do, go back to home, I started buying bubble gum, chewing gum, and candy. And Daddy was sick then, and he said, "Son, would you get that money to get them that stuff out?" And I started crying. I said, "Well, I found some money, and these boys took it away from me." I lied to him. And he said, "I'll go see about that." And he had that cancer then. And he came back and he said, "You lied to me, son." Said, "They told me what happened." And he started spanking me. And I jerked away from him, and he jerked he put his hand like that. He's hurt. And I never will forget that as long as I live. And that's the last time he ever spanked me. I remember that's the 3rd time I remember him spanking me. I lied to him, boy. And I told them boys to take away from me. And they did, you know. But after that, Mom said, I don't want you boys, I don't want you fooling them boys no more. I mean it. And I did. I found another bunch of boys to play with, and these are good boys. And every one of them wound up in reform school. And 2 or 3 of them, like I said, got killed. I said I almost joined the Navy when I was 18 years old, and went up there at Louisville, and first time I was in Lexington, I didn't want to think about Lexington, how big a town it was. That's fascinated me. And I remember the bus, when we got in Lexington, the bus had to stop over in Lexington for about an hour or two, and we started walking around. Walked around there for a while, and got back on the bus and went on to Louisville, and checked in up there. The next day, I think we took the IQ test, stuff like that, and different things. And they told us that, well, you packed. They told us the ones that, and they kept us there. And 2 bus loads that same day or next day, they sent them back to Pineville. 2 bus loads of them, and we stayed up there almost a week. We make our beds up and everything, get breakfast, and like was in the barracks something. And after we took a physical, they sent every one of us back except 2. They took 2.
So you almost joined the Navy, but
Yeah,
didn't quite.
I almost got in there, boy. I was so disappointed.
Do you remember what you wanted to be if you were able to actually get in?
They told me if I got on the I could been one thing. I could been you know, when the planes comes in, I just push them off like that, do it like that, and tell them to go off like that. When they be ready to go, that's one of them. And then something else, I don't know, it might have been something else, but I know that's one of them. I was young, Eddie, Les. I was so young then, I was tickled up to just thought I'd get in. And I was so disappointed when I didn't make it. Thank you, Lord, for this food, Lord, you give us. Lord, I pray for the people in Ukraine and Israel, in America, and the rest of the world, Lord. In your name we pray, God. If I sinned in any way, God, forgive me, Lord. Amen.